Let's see, more people are joining. We hit almost 700 people in a couple of moments only.
That's
Yes, you
amazing,
already know
guys.
the drill.
It's so nice to see so many of you joining. So we just got done with a seminar by Paul McKenna yesterday, and it broke all records. So every quarter we do a weekend seminar. It's free for all. It's typically 5 hours. And yesterday we hit a record. We had 10,000 people sign up and 4,700 people live on Zoom. So thank you for the immense interest in the work of Paul McKenna. Bianca is running the show here for our broadcast today from behind the scenes. Bianca and I coincidentally both happen to be in Romania. I'm here with my daughter. It's her birthday today. So I'm going to be leaving straight after this to take my daughter to a restaurant. We are here in Transylvania, home of Dracula. So my 9-year-old daughter loves horror movies, and she and her brother are currently reading Bram Stoker's Dracula. So this is why I am here in Transylvania. And Bianca happens to be Romanian. Where are you at, Bianca?
I'm in Baku, but your daughter really has good taste, Vishen.
Good taste in horror, or good taste
in traveling and choosing
visit?
places to visit and taking you like everywhere. That's a beautiful one.
So speaking of travel, there are people here from all around the world. We have 1,300 people live with us right now. And hello, people there from Sydney, France, UK, Kerala, Manchester, Arizona, the UK again, UAE, Turkey, Mexico, Germany, Mumbai, Romania. Hey, Romanian. Hungary, Boulder, Colorado, Chicago, Denver, Pennsylvania, Maldives, Belize, Toronto, Philippines, Ecuador, Bosnia. I love how diverse the Mindvalley community is. So thank you all for being here. So the point of this webinar and what we're going to be talking about today is Mindvalley's newest certification. About a year ago, we launched Mindvalley certifications. And the reason for that is because Mindvalley has already built at this point the world's #1 personal growth platform. We have 61 teachers on our platform. And this number is constantly growing and growing and growing. And one of the things that many of you guys, our members, came to us and asked us for is the ability to take the learnings, the wisdom that you're learning on this platform, and get this out to your community, to your city. As you can see, our community is so diverse. And imagine being able to take these ideas and bring them to Singapore, or bring them to Transylvania, or bring them to Estonia. And so about a year ago, we launched Mindvalley certifications, and we started certifying people as coaches. And this could be life coaching, health coaching, and so on. And it blew up. And in the span of 12 months, we certified 5,000 coaches across the world. Now, one of the things that there was a lot of interest in is hypnotherapy as a form of certification. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. So hypnotherapy is something that fascinates me because I've been experimenting with it over the last 2.5 years as I became friends with legendary hypnotherapists like Marissa Peer, like Paul McKenna. And hypnotherapy had a profound impact on my life. Coaching is one thing. You guide people through a 3-month transformation, sometimes a 1-year transformation. Hypnotherapy, you often create a shift instantly. I've worked with hypnotherapists where after coming out of this session, a medical condition that I had to take medicine for healed itself, and I could stop taking the medicine. This happened to me in January 2020. I was in London filming this man, Paul McKenna, the man who's about to come up in about 3 minutes. We were filming a masterclass for Mindvalley, and we took a break for lunch, and Paul and I were having a one-on-one lunch, and I confessed to him that I'd just been diagnosed with this problem. I was 45 years old, and this problem is quite common in men my age. And Paul said, there's an aspect of it that has to do with the human mind. After we're done with this filming, come back to my office. Let me see what I can do. So I sat in Paul's chair in his office, this beautiful, incredible leather chair. And I think the session lasted about 22 minutes. And at the end of it, I didn't feel like there was any change. But in the subsequent weeks, I no longer needed to be on that medicine. I had officially been healed, and I couldn't explain it. Now, we know today that the mind has such a powerful impact on the body. Hypnotherapy speaks directly to the subconscious. You shift beliefs, you shift attitudes, you shift your mind, you heal your body. And we think this is a powerful methodology to bring to the world. So after we launched Paul McKenna's programs on Mindvalley, Unlimited Confidence, Everyday Bliss, and we saw the impact of these programs, I decided that I wanted to learn hypnotherapy. It's been a dream of mine since I was a child. But rather than go to Paul and say, hey, Paul, just teach me, because Paul is like, he is the best in the world. He's the #1 hypnotherapist, 12 million books sold. We thought it would be great to launch a hypnotherapy certification for everyone in the Mindvalley community. And that's what we have right now. It's about 46 hours of training. It spans 3 months, and it will change not just your life, but the lives of the people that you come into contact with. Today, in this presentation, which is going to last about an hour, you're going to learn about the hypnotherapy training. And I hope that those of you who see value in this would sign up. One of the things I want to put out there just as a clue is that not only are you learning from the foremost hypnotherapist, Paul McKenna, who is the most widely known hypnotherapist, but this is also a Mindvalley production. So you are officially getting a certificate where you're a McKenna Mindvalley certified hypnotherapist. And that is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. But the other thing I want to put out there, just as a juicy little tidbit, is that because this is our first year doing it, and it launches in a few weeks, the price that we have set is 1/3 of what all the other hypnotherapist certifications cost. And the reason for that is because we know that we are doing this for the first time. In fact, we've already had a test group going. I'm part of that test group, so I'm 66% done to being a hypnotherapist. But we know that in mass, this is about the first time, and we know there may be some little imperfections. But in exchange for that, we think we're like 90% there. There will be a couple of things we will tweak for the next batch. But in turn, for your trust in coming to us, even though this is year 1 for us, we're giving you 1/3 price reduction. But this is something that, as Mindvalley, we've already trained 5,000 people, and we know that you're in for an amazing, amazing, amazing experience. So without further ado, let me bring on a man who's had a profound impact on my life and the lives of Mindvalley members because of his voice, because of his presence, because of his ability to transform the human mind. Paul McKenna, please join us.
Hello, Vishan. It's lovely to be here with you. Thank you very much for that introduction. I'm just very excited to be doing this because I've been a hypnotist for more than 30 years now and been teaching it for nearly that long. And one of the great things is that I've had the opportunity to work with lots of people, but also to hone how it is I teach it. So now with the digital age we live in, instead of people having to travel and come and sit in an auditorium, what they can do is over the internet, over a period of 4 months, they can learn all of my best techniques. I teach them in a way that I suppose is best to describe as an accelerated learning method. So you're learning in months what has taken me years. And so, not only will you be able to hypnotize yourself and other people, but you'll be good. You'll be better than the average person. In fact, you'll be real good because this is a vocation for me. I don't really need to do anything ever again, but I love my job. I absolutely love it. I sit here and I work with people that everyone else has given up on. Or, if I'm researching a book, I'll work with all the people I can get hold of who have anxiety or insomnia or stuff like that. So I'm going to explain a bit about what it is I do, but I'd also like for everyone watching, if they require it, to sample a bit of hypnosis tonight. So I'm going to first of all start by saying what hypnosis is, describe why hypnotherapy. Well, it's without doubt, if not it's one of the most powerful tools in the world for behavioral change. So people go and see hypnotists, to quit smoking, to lose weight, to get confident, to overcome phobias, to get rid of anxiety. But they also, as well as using it for remedial things, they use it for life enhancement. So for aspirational things. So every major sports person in the world has somebody like me now to put them in the zone, to make them perform at the peak of their ability. I mean, many of the people I work with, rock stars, movie stars, business leaders, sports stars, they're already top of their game, but they want to be even better. So the idea was that we could create a training, not just to make you a great hypnotherapist, but also so you can create a great business, because the world has never needed hypnotherapy more than it needs it right now. We've been through a biological pandemic. We're in the midst of a psychological pandemic. Anxiety and all these sorts of things are through the roof. People need the power of hypnotherapy to help them make amazing changes, to get confident, to get motivated, to get optimistic. And how hypnosis works is very simple. in many respects. There's the conscious mind that we actively think with, the one that you're thinking with right now. Oh yeah, that's that little voice inside your head. That's the smaller mind, if you like. The larger mind is the unconscious mind. Some people call it the subconscious mind. Now, the great thing about the unconscious mind is that it regulates your breathing, your blood supply. It's also your source of creativity and wisdom. It's aware of all sorts of things, can make billions of computations at any one moment. Now, it also drives our habits, because about 40% of what we do each day is habit. You don't think to yourself, shall I brush my teeth this morning? You just do it. Shall I tie my shoelaces? You just do it. Yeah. Now, many of the habits that we have support us. They're functional. But some of the habits we have are dysfunctional, maybe smoking, over drinking, overeating, feeling irrationally frightened of speaking in front of a group of people, etc. The great thing is with hypnosis, which is usually done in a gentle, relaxing trance, but it can be done in a conversation. Lots of ways to do it. Usually in a trance, though, where somebody relaxes and they go into almost what you'd consider a meditative state, you can reprogram the unconscious mind. And you do that through visualization. You do it through the power of suggestion. And so hypnotists use a special language. They use their style in communication to influence people. So with this hypnotherapy course that we're doing, I've also put quite a few elements from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, developed and created by my dear friend, Dr. Richard Bandler, who's one of the greatest creative minds on the planet. And also, I've also introduced one of the new psychosensory therapies. You've probably seen the tapping technique, TFT, again, created by my friend, sadly now late, Roger Callahan. And there's a new one on the block, havening, as in a safe haven where you touch various parts of your body when you're distressed, and this creates a delta wave and makes you calm. So what happens is the conscious mind is the mind we actively think with. It's chatting away all day long. The unconscious mind is that larger mind that really is amazing, that drives all of our life. And through hypnosis, we can get in touch with the unconscious mind and we can program it so that in future, you're not frightened of getting up and speaking to a large group of people. Instead, you feel really confident. Or if you've got insomnia, you sleep deep all the way through the night. If you're one of those people who overeats, maybe you eat because you're not hungry, you're just bored, or you're maybe a little stressed or something like that. What we can do is change it so that you can look at food, take it or leave it. I do a demonstration where I take someone who's a chocoholic, and in less than a minute, I make it so that they can look at chocolate and take it or leave it. And then also things like other compulsions or anxiety issues. There's a lot of anxiety in the world right now, and hypnosis is a phenomenal technology for helping people to get calm, to turn off the fear and the anxiety and turn on the peace and the calm, to feel in control, to feel as though you're in charge of your life. Now, the great thing is when you do a hypnotherapy course with Mindvalley and myself, not only do you get to practice a lot on people in the groups that you'll be finding yourselves in, but you do it on yourself too. And I'll be doing it to you as well. So you get the benefit of overcoming self-sabotage, of becoming more confident, more motivated, more optimistic, more resilient, and you get free of unwanted habits and behaviors from the past that no longer serve you. You'll be able to learn to concentrate powerfully. You'll also become a very eloquent communicator. You'll be able to look at a human being and see, oh, I see, that's what's going on with them. How am I going to fix that? Or how am I going to guide them in this way? Now, one of the things I was thinking of, we might start with a little bit of hypnosis, because I know that many of you would like to sample what it's like. Some of you have done meditation before, or maybe you've done hypnosis before, but right now there's way too much stress, anxiety in the world. And also, there's a lot of people who've sort of lost their direction in terms of the future and planning, because there's been too many moving parts. There was a lockdown, there wasn't. And so a lot of people have lost the ability to make plans and be as focused as they used to be. So what I thought we'd do is we'd go and get interested in the future. And I'd create a more compelling future for you. And it's a good idea to get interested in the future, because you're going to be spending the rest of your life there. So what I'd like to do is to ask you, just to begin with, to do a visualization process. And then what I'll do is take you into a lovely, deeply relaxed state of mind and body, where you'll still be able to hear my words and you'll know what's going on. You won't lose control, but your mind will become profoundly relaxed, and you'll feel lovely feelings of bliss and peace. And so the rest of your day will go great, because we've programmed your mind. I'm going to be working with you. That's right, to do that. So what I'd like you to do is make yourself comfortable right now, and we'll put some relaxing music on. And I'd like you to relax the muscles around the side of your eyes and mouth, comfortably aware of your chest and stomach relaxing, and listening to my words and the gaps between my words, and noticing that there are changes and sensations that are a part of this experience. And you don't have to know how it is. This trance is helping you. And all you need to know that this is the only trance that's happening for you now. And as you breathe in and out, aware of sensations that are a part of this experience for you now. There's nothing to be done right now. You can just relax and let go. But before you go deeply in the trance, I'd like you now, in your mind, to imagine it's a year in the future. That's right. Traveled out 1 year into the future. And I'd like you to imagine it's been one of the best years of your life, one of the best years ever. Now, if that's true, if you've had an amazing year, what must have happened in regard to your health, both physical and mental? You've had one of the most fantastic years. How's your health? Also, how are your relationships, personal and professional? Let your mind show you how it is. You've had one of the best years ever. How are your relationships? You've had one of the best years ever. How's your career? You've had an amazing year. How's your finances? You've had an amazing year. How's your general levels of happiness? And now, I'd like you to make a big, bold, cinema-sized screen picture that represents your life looking good 1 year from now. And make sure you're in the picture looking healthy, happy, and successful. And other things in that image can let you know that your life is good, maybe family, friends, career, finances. Make a picture of your life a year from now with you looking great, really happy and joyous and successful, and your relationships are good, and your career is great, your finances are good, and you look so amazing. Make that picture big and bright and bold and solid. And then I'd like you to float back 3 months from that and ask yourself, what needed to have happened 3 months before? You might know, or you might just get an intuition about it. Make a picture that represents that, a small picture. Then I'd like you to float back 3 months from that and ask yourself, what needed to have happened 3 months before even that? You might know, you might get an intuition about it. Make another small picture to represent. And then, I'd like you to float back 3 months before that. And ask yourself, what needed to have happened 3 months before that, yeah? And make a small picture that represents how your life is and what's going on. Then, I'd like you to float all the way back to now. And I'd like you to look at the succession of images 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year from now. You in each of them looking healthy and happy. Everything going your way. Health, friendships, relationships, career, finances. You are so happy. So if you look, you can see a timeline of great images. You can tell your unconscious mind, this is the direction I want my life to go. You can put images further out in the future. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Just to be healthy, happy, and joyous. And then brighten them all up. Make them beautiful. As they move away from you, they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Your future looks good. Now, I'd like you to relax. I'd like you to imagine how you would look. You're twice as relaxed as you are right now. And then float into that more relaxed you. See through the eyes of a more relaxed self. Hear your internal dialogue slow down. And feel this deeper relaxation. From this place, imagine how you would look. Twice as relaxed you are right now. Float into that more relaxed you. See through the eyes, you're more relaxed. Hear through the ears of your relaxed. Feel it. Relaxation. And I'd like to talk to that part of you we refer to as control. Part of you likes to be in control. And I'd like it to continue to do all the good things it does for you. Now, do them from the background of your experience. You can let go of control. Next, I'd like to talk to that part of you we refer to as the protector, part of you that keeps you safe. And I'd like it to continue to do all the good things it does for you. But for now, in the background of your experience, next, I'd like to talk to that part of you we'll refer to as the evaluator, part of you that critiques and analyzes and judges, and like it to continue to do all the good things it does for you. But for now, letting go of judgment and critique. Now, I'd like to talk to that part of you we'll refer to as desire. I'd like it to continue to do all the good things it does for you. It gets you things. But like it to let go of all desire in this moment. All ambition and desire, just let it go. Do what it does from the background of your experience. Now, I'd like to talk to the seeking mind, the mind that seeks the way. I'd like you to continue to do all the good things that you do, but for now, in the background of your experience. Now, I'd like to talk to non-seeking, contented mind. Right now, there's nowhere else to be, nothing to be done. Everything is perfectly as it is. Now I'd like to talk to you, big mind. How big are you? How small are you? When are you? And as your mind wanders, and you enjoy the bliss of this deep relaxation, you can know that you're free in this moment. Free to let your thoughts slow down and just feel good. You can go on a search and remember happy time. And soon it will be time to awaken from this relaxing experience, feeling refreshed, relaxed, and alert, calm and confident, with a renewed sense of optimism and deep inner joy. When you think about your future, you see pictures of you healthy and happy and optimistic and successful. And you do that regularly so that you let your unconscious mind know the direction you want to take your life. And you don't necessarily know why it is you feel so good, but when you relax deeply, you release endorphins, the body's natural opiates. So when I ask you to awaken by counting back from 10 to 1, you'll feel refreshed, relaxed, and alert, with a renewed sense of optimism and deep inner joy, and you'll have reinforced every positive thought you've ever had about yourself. 10, 9, 8, coming back now. 7, 6, 5, that's it, feeling refreshed and alert. 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes open, wide awake, wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Welcome back. Now, I know that some people said, oh, I had a little trouble hearing some of that. One of the things I want to let you know, I understand there might have been a sound issue, but the unconscious mind hears everything. I mean, I'll show you how it works. Is when you're at a party, right, and people are talking around you, you're talking to one person, listening to them consciously, but your unconscious mind is listening to all the conversations. Someone said your name over the other side of the room, well, suddenly you tune in and hear it. So even if you didn't hear everything I said, your unconscious mind did. And it can take on board the positive suggestions I was offering to it. And of course, just by thinking about the future in positive ways, what that does is that organizes our thinking. And we did it specifically in relation to the way you code time. So it's giving you a direction. So think about the things that you'd like to have happen over the next year. and they feel good. See, a lot of people spend more time making a list for the shopping, go shopping in the supermarket than they do the next year or 5 years of their life. And if you don't have a plan about the future, it's a bit like setting off in a boat without a rudder. You could end up anywhere. So I think it's a very good idea to just have a general direction of where it is you want your life to go. So that's how we started that. And then what we did was a relaxing process to create nice feelings of bliss and joy. So, by the way, I'm seeing all that. Thank you, by the way. I really appreciate all the kind words. It's very, very kind of you. So I just wanted to give you a very, very quick sample of the way I do hypnosis. If you want to check out more of my work, I have a couple of programs with Mindvalley: Everyday Bliss, Total Self-Confidence. But also I put on my YouTube channel a whole load of trances. I noticed that there's quite a few million people are using them, particularly the sleep one at the moment, which seems to be an issue for a lot of people. So if you wanted to go and just try some of my work, you can find it there. There's a few examples of there. So there we go. That's it from me for now. I'm going to hand back to Ajit and Vishan because there's a simple demonstration of the power of hypnosis for improving your compelling future and for deep relaxation.
Thank you, Paul. That was wonderful. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. So where we're going to go from here is, now that you have a taste of what hypnosis is like, what we're going to show you is what a hypnosis certification looks like. We're going to give you all the data, all the facts with no hyperbole, and you can decide if this is something you want to apply for. Are you guys ready? Now, we realize that you may have a lot of questions for this. And so I'm going to present for about 25 minutes, and then we're going to give space another 25 to 30 minutes to have all your questions answered, okay? And for the 301 of you who already enrolled, welcome. I'm so excited to see you guys in the first batch. It's going to be an exciting, exciting, exciting journey. So let me share my screen, and we will now begin. So we're going to talk about Paul McKenna's hypnotherapy certification. It's Mindvalley certified hypnotherapist with Paul McKenna. So the first thing that's really beautiful about this is you have two amazing brands supporting your certification. You're not just a hypnotherapist, you're a McKenna hypnotherapist and a Mindvalley hypnotherapist. And these two are brands that people recognize. Paul McKenna has sold 12 million books and is probably the most recognized hypnotherapist in the world today. Now, again, I'm hypnotherapist. We're not talking about entertainment hypnosis, right? Like there are other people who are recognized as entertainers, but that's very different from hypnotherapists. Secondly, Mindvalley. You're recognized as a Mindvalley trained hypnotherapist. And Mindvalley, of course, is one of the biggest personal growth brands in the world, if not the biggest personal growth brand. What you're going to learn today is one of the most powerful professional skills for creating fast and lifelong behavioral change in yourself or anyone. This means literally changing someone's habits, someone's behavior, even in some case, helping someone accelerate healing, because the mind has such a profound impact on the body. And this is a very powerful tool. Now, the program is 16 weeks, 4 months. And at the end of it, you get a certificate, which allows you to go forth and actually charge to provide these services to clients. Now, here's a really interesting thing, though. This is not for people who just want to go out there and create a new stream of income. This is also for people who want to learn to master their mind. A very interesting statistic is this: 60% of everyone who gets certified by Mindvalley do not do it because they have an intention to go out there and make money, being a life coach or being a fitness coach or being a hypnotherapist. They do it because they want to make an impact in their own lives and the lives of the people around them. For example, when I learned 10X, I applied it to my son and my daughter. So my son and my daughter are like two of the fittest kids you will imagine. They eat healthy. They are incredibly healthy. They have just incredible energy, musculature. They are just such great kids. At the same time, I took the 10X methodology, which is Mindvalley's fitness methodology, and I brought it to my company. Over 100 of my employees have been trained in 10X. And a few years ago, as a company, we were recognized by American Insurance as having the healthiest employees in our city. And we're in a city with 2 million people, healthiest employees. And of course, insurance rates went down. So you can take this as a boss, as a CEO, as a parent, and bring this into your life. You can help alleviate stress. You can help reduce anxiety. You can help people overcome bad habits, sleep better, not just for yourself, but for the people you truly love. In short, we're giving you a superpower that you can use to help heal and uplift others. If you like this idea, go ahead and drop a yes in the chat so we know that you're hearing this and that you're with us. This is not necessarily just if you want to go out there and make money, although you will be able to. Now, you guys are busy people. 5% of our Mindvalley members are CEOs. Another 6 to 7% already have a coaching certificate. You guys are busy, we get that. But to be truly trained, you do have to put in the time, because we want to make sure you're competent, you're skilled. And remember, as you go through this, you go through behavioral change. You go through positive reinforcements. You learn to deal with overwhelm, to deal with stress. Your body becomes healthier. You learn the importance of self-talk. If you did this without the intention to apply it in a single other person, it would still be worth your time, because you will transform. And all we're talking about here is 3 hours per week. That's it, 3 hours per week. In total, it comes up to, since it's 16 weeks, it comes up to about 48 hours. Now, if you think 3 hours long, consider this. The average American spends an hour and a half a day on Netflix and TV, and 2 hours a day on social media. That's 3.5 hours a day on stuff that adds very, very, very little value to your lives. Obviously, you guys are not average, but I know you can take this time out of your TV time or your social media time. And a lot of this training you can even do while you're on the treadmill. You can listen to recordings while you're commuting. So there are additional time tricks that you can bring in to make it very doable. Now, here's what some of the things that you learn. You learn to relieve stress and anxiety.
Sorry for interrupting. The screen is not that clear right now, so we cannot see what is written on the screen.
Oh, really? Is it blurry?
It's very blurry. Yeah. Maybe you should
Okay,
stop.
let me try sharing again. Okay, it could be maybe a broadband issue. We'll try it one more time. Was it clear for the rest of you guys? Could you guys see the slides?
No, everyone was having the same problem.
Okay, we'll do it again. Okay, how is it now, Bianca?
We don't see the screen just yet.
Okay, now we do. We can see the writing.
Okay, it's clearer now.
No,
it's not very clear. Vishen, how about I share the slides and
Yes.
I'll just press next. You just tell me, I'll press next. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. We'll have Ajit share. It could be because I'm in Transylvania and maybe the Wi-Fi here isn't as strong as it should be. Okay, Ajit, please go ahead. Is that better, guys? Okay, well, the good news is in the previous slides, there was nothing really that major anyway. Okay, so these are some of the things that you will learn as you go through this. Stress and anxiety relief. Now, this is a really important one. I don't know how many of you have listened to Paul McKenna's Everyday Bliss Hypnotic Trance on the Mindvalley app. But many of the people at Mindvalley, the people who work on my team, say this is one of the best 30-minute, actually it's 22-minute sessions they've ever listened to on our meditation app. It's not a meditation, it's a hypnotherapy, but in 22 minutes, it rewires your brain to become stress resistant. And yes, stress is not something that happens to you. It is something you perceive. And you can switch your brain to perceive stress in a different way, where stress and overwhelm are just don't touch you like it did before. And this is absolutely fascinating. So if you get a chance after this, you want to see how powerful hypnosis is, open up the Mindvalley app. I'm going to kind of show it to you on my screen right now. Click on meditations, type in McKenna, click search, and what you will see is McKenna's meditations. And there is one thing there called the hypnotic trance. Okay, that's what it looks like. Listen to that, and one session will make a marked difference. Paul suggests you listen to it about 5 times in a row if you want to really be completely transformed in your attitude to stress. This has changed my life. and it will impact you. And so if there's one thing you get out of this, other than sign up and go through this program to become a certified hypnotherapist, experience the power of it yourself through this. Now, the second one is boosting confidence. This is the second biggest thing. And for that too, we have a powerful meditation on this. It's also called a hypnotic trance, but at this time it's called instant confidence. Again, you'll find it on the Mindvalley app. Okay, don't do it now. Remember that. Make a note. At the end of this presentation, tonight or tomorrow, while you're waiting for your application to clear or whatever, dive into it and you will see just how powerful this is. Now, confidence also is a function of the mind. I have used this track in a moment when I was feeling crazy underconfident. I sent an email out on this. I was questioning, I was going through a writer's block. I was questioning if I could like deliver a proper speech. I was just, we go through these things. And I remember Paul was just producing his new program at Mindvalley, and I decided to play the instant confidence track. And I didn't feel anything like I came out, but the very next day I woke up and things were just different. I just blasted through the copy from my then new book, The 6-Phase Meditation. And the next day I decided to raise my speaking rates, which I did. I almost doubled my speaking rates. And the funny thing was, even though I doubled my rates, my confidence level was so high, I actually got the same number of requests to speak around the world. And I never would have been able to have the guts, the balls to do that if I hadn't had this jolt of confidence. Now imagine what this can do for your career. Imagine what it can do for you if you need to ask for a raise, if you need to put in a proposal, if you need to pitch for an investor. You have mastery over your own confidence level. Now, the third thing you do is treating compulsions, treating phobias, pain management. How many of you, right, experience pain? Inducing peak performance, weight loss and weight management, fixing insomnia, mindset and belief reprogramming, and even self-image enhancement. So I mentioned earlier that I'm 66% through Paul McKenna's training. And one of the things that we're doing in this certification is you practice with a lot of partners. So I was partnered up with Michelle, who's one of our fellow students, and Paul asked us to practice on each other for overcoming compulsion. So my compulsion was chocolate. Believe it or not, for a 46-year-old man, I have a weird obsession with chocolate. Like if you come to my house, I have collections of chocolate. The funny thing is, after this 20-minute session with Michelle, my chocolate consumption just plummeted. Now, I no longer have that craving for chocolate like I did before. Nothing wrong with chocolate. I still enjoy it, but I don't crave it. And I was eating like the really bad crap, Cadbury's, milk, chocolate, like those things are deadly. And so if you have a compulsion that you want to get rid of, this going through the certification may make that happen. And again, this is just a tiny bit. We're talking about phobias, pain management, peak performance, weight loss, fixing insomnia, mindset and belief reprogramming, self-image enhancement. The applications of self-image enhancement in this are also huge. So there's a wide range of different modalities where you can bring change to yourself and to the people you love and to potential future clients. Ajit, next slide. Okay, so now what we have brought you is the world's most advanced and effective hypnotherapy certification system. And what I want to do now is bring up Ajit Nawalkar, who is the co-founder of Mindvalley Certifications. Ajit is one of the top coach trainers in the world. He has built up the company Mindvalley Certifications with me. We are partners in this company. Ajit runs it as the co-founder, and he is brilliant at what he does. And Ajit, I'd like to invite you to tell us how you're bringing your methodologies of training coaches to design this system in the subsequent slides.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vishen. So excited to be talking to everybody here. You see, like Vishen mentioned, we've trained over 5,000 coaches over the past 12 months to be able to go out and change lives. And one of the things that we found is while coaching is tremendously powerful and works with your conscious mind to be able to create change in your life, we found a lot of times there are limiting beliefs that are just hidden in our subconscious because we're always collecting. Our subconscious is always listening. We didn't have the right model to be able to transform that. So we said, what is it that we can do to accelerate change in people's life? And one of the ways was to not only take away limiting beliefs, but install limitless beliefs. And that is one of the most powerful things that you can do using hypnotherapy for yourself and for people around you. And hypnotherapy has not only been used for people like having clients and so forth. You could use it with your family. You can use it with your friends. When you have a child that may be having an anxious moment, you can help your children to be able to reduce their anxiety and concern around things that may be bothering them. So it's one of the most advanced models that you can use to not only create change in yourself, but people around you, your family, your friends, and of course, potentially your clients. What I'm going to share with you is some more of what you're going to learn in the next few months. Is firstly, you're going to get years and years of information and testing and practice that Paul has done personally and also has done with his own team of coaches over the past 4 decades. He's got the best models and the most effective models. These models are so effective that, like Vishen was sharing, we have a sample group of about 80 people that came in and did this practice with us. And we found that people who were able to quit smoking and they have not smoked in the past 4 months. There are people who hypnotize their partners with their permission, of course, to reduce their social anxiety so they can really enjoy being with people. We have had people who have seen growth in their business because of more confidence or reduced anxiety. They're not even using it as hypnotherapists yet because, like, there's a little bit of the work that is left for all of these individuals that we train that they need to do with you in this certification program. And so they're not trained fully as hypnotherapists, but they're seeing change left, right, and center. And that's thanks to Paul's amazing wealth of knowledge that we were able to create in a format that you can consume fairly easily. You'll see that in a very short period of time, you'll be able to see massive and permanent changes, right? Because a lot of us can get some change, but then we don't stick with it. Hypnotherapy is that model that installs a new version, a new belief in your mind, so you see the change permanently. Like I was sharing, the people who quit smoking, quit chocolate, or reduce their chocolate consumption, and they have had that impact already for 4 or 5 months at this point, and they don't even realize that that's happening. They only realize when we ask a question like, hey, how's that thing that Paul worked on with you, or you worked on with a friend working out for you? And they go, wow, I just realized I don't eat as much chocolate. I don't crave it as much, or I don't smoke anymore. Like, I have not bought a pack of cigarettes in 5 months ever since I've worked with the group before. So it's really massive and really fast. You will find that a lot of the patterns that we have are deep rooted, right? Because as children, we get all these patterns knowingly or unconsciously from the surroundings around us. It could be parents, it could be friends, it could be teachers that give us these beliefs based on their own beliefs. And if you can change that for long term, you'll find that you have had massive change in your life overall. So these are hard to get to patterns consciously, but subconsciously with the power of hypnotherapy, you can change that. You will also be able to learn how to do self-hypnosis, which is to do hypnosis on yourself. So you can custom design what you need in your life. What is that limiting belief that you want to take care of, and what's the new limiting belief you want to install? So it's not just something where it's like scripted, where it's like script 1, script 2, script 3, script 4. No, we give you the tools to be able to build from the foundation. That's the power of this unique model that Paul has created. It gives you the fundamentals and says, this is like Lego bricks. Make your own castle, however you like it. So you can custom design yourself in a way using the power of hypnotherapy. You will always find yourself to be more confident and highly prepared to be able to start a business or a practice if you choose to. Like Vishen said, the biggest change, the biggest investment that we make in our lives at any given time is in ourselves. If we can change, everything else just falls into place, right? But if you choose to have a career out of becoming a hypnotherapist or add to your current career, well, you will have all of the practice and the models and the tools to be able to do that. You'll be able to, of course, enhance your current set of skills because now you know the ability to be able to install new beliefs in you. And I want to share some of stories of our clients, and Vishen, you can jump in at any time, but I want to show you some videos and let me know if the audio is clear enough in the chat, but it should come through.
I'm so deeply grateful today because I found something what was really triggering me and was something like coming up like a panic attack, and I couldn't spot it. And with lately now, the last work with Kate, we just discovered And now with this hypnotherapy, the techniques which we learned from Paul, she just destroyed it one by one, and we overrode it, and I feel so free. Wow, that I never felt like that before. All this procrastinating gone, all this anxiety going on, because I'm a people pleaser and I really had hard time to have confronting conversations. Ooh, that was really, and now I feel like as free like never before, and carrying that around me since decades, and gone by practicing with one of us. That's a gift. So I'm so deeply grateful today.
So that was Jessica. This is Andre. I'm gonna not play the whole thing because it may take a long time that way for us to watch through, but you'll see the transformations fairly.
I came, looking to do sort of like some magic for myself, and I was sort of manifesting that I'm going to be doing magic in my life, and this is absolutely magical. I wasn't sure what I had for expectations other than that
So that was Andre. This is Rebecca.
Before, I wasn't sure what the expectations were going to be, but I did do a little bit more research, and I was kind of getting excited about learning some of the different techniques that I could use to empower myself. And what I have gained so far has surpassed my expectations.
So I want to show you just quickly an entire video reel. This is about a minute long, but it will give you like the highlight of everything that
absolutely 100% perfect.
I came to this program not knowing.
Oops, sorry about that.
It was absolutely 100% perfect.
I came to this program not knowing anything at all about hypnotherapy, really. I just came with an open mind. I was a blank slate. And oh my gosh, it was absolutely transformative.
It's been way beyond any kind of expectation, or just it's been heartwarming, gut releasing, and mind blowing.
I feel confident, I feel liked, I feel loved, I feel extremely grateful.
What I have gained so far has surpassed my expectations. I had blocks coming into this training that I didn't even realize, blocks that were stopping me from my business, and Paul was the one that helped me realize this.
I've had so many breakthroughs on so many levels already immediately.
People thinking of whether they should do it or shouldn't do it, I just say absolutely yes.
It's absolutely wonderful, whether you're a coach and already in the mind-body field, or if you just have a curiosity and a fascination about hypnotherapy and want to heal yourself and learn how to work with those around you.
I'm so pleased. It was so wonderful.
It's just absolutely phenomenal. I would say, I think everyone should take this course, honestly. I think
this is an opportunity for you to do some soul searching. Just go for it. Say yes.
Ever coach definitely rose to the occasion and delivered more.
So like you saw, there's tons of people who have had tremendous amount of impact. I want to quickly walk you through what you're going to learn, and then we are going to talk about and take some questions as well. So first month, you're going to focus on foundations of hypnotherapy. We've broken it into 4 parts, the 4-month program, right? Second month, you're going to learn the science and skill set of behavioral change. The third, you're going to learn about inducing deeper states and deeper transformation. And the 4th month, you're going to be mastering hypnotherapy as a practice. And also you're going to get some bonuses that will help you build a business around your hypnotherapy practices. One of the biggest bonuses you can get is your own personal transformation, right? Because that's the one thing that you're really, really signing up for, is the first change. And the first change is always you. And as you change, you'll find great results for yourself. Now, what you're also going to see, because a lot of people who get hypnotherapy as certifications and want to learn it sometimes feel a little bit conscious and unaware of what I should be, am I doing this right or not? And one of the best things you can do is to watch a master at it. And which is why we've recorded live sessions with Paul that you get to experience and you get to see. So you see the demonstration of what you're learning. It's not just you listening to something, but you actually see how it's getting implemented. So it's really, really powerful stuff. How does it work? Well, every week you're going to get a training for about 60 to 90 minutes. This is a training that all the testimonials were from. You get to watch that as the first thing. Then you get into live classrooms with Paul and one of the top trainers with Paul called Steve. Both of them train you week after week and answer all of your questions around that week's training with you. then you get to actually practice. You get to actually work with someone to be able to know if what you learned is actually working or not, and you get feedback around it. It's about 3 different sessions accommodating different time zones happen that throughout the week that you can sign up for one of the 3 of them every single week. So you don't only learn, you get to practice as well. And then we also get you to get some of the periodical assessments just to make sure that you're able to track your own progress. So that's what the entire program entails. And that's not all. You get the Mindvalley new build that we are doing right now. It may take another 18 to 24 months, but we're building a platform for you to be able to use to work with your clients. You will be able to use this platform to demonstrate your capabilities and be able to.
May I step in here?
Absolutely, please do.
I'm the tech guy. I like talking about the tech features that we're building. We're not just building some of the best certification programs in the world. We are seeking over the next 2 years to build the #1 coaching platform in the world, better than anything else out there. And this is because Mindvalley already has such a great engineering stack we build upon it. So one of the first things is building a way where if you become a Mindvalley member, you can immediately hire a hypnotherapist or a coach. This is very useful for companies who use our platform. So this is coming soon. It's going to be included as part of the certification. Ajit, next slide, please. Next slide.
That's it. So this is the slide around it.
Yeah, and we are one of the things that I'm personally working on is an artificial intelligence to help find the right hypnotherapist or the right coach for you. We have hundreds of thousands of members. We have 5,000 coaches. We have hundreds of companies, thousands of companies that work with Mindvalley. And so we're actually building a AI that's able to predict which coach, which hypnotherapist is best for you. Because in today's world, you don't just have to go to the guy down the block. You can be in Ghana and you can access a coach in Paris all through Zoom, right? So the way you pair someone up is a very different problem. And these are some of the things that we're bringing so that it's not just about you being certified, but it's about you being able to be matched to the right clients. Now, granted, you're not paying for this. This is still 1, maybe 2 years out, but when it happens, it happens. And I want to show you the scale of what we're building. Next, Ajit.
So the next thing is, because some of you might have wondered, hey, listen, I will get the certification. I'll become the best hypnotherapist. What if I want to do a business on the side, or I want to make this my business? Well, you get the perfect training for that. We're going to give you the Grow Your Business package. These are 3 different quests that demonstrate to you how you can start your coaching or hypnotherapy business, how you can grow that business if you're already getting a couple of clients, or how to take this learning into businesses. You get these quests absolutely for free. This alone would cost you like thousands of dollars to get from the platform if you individually bought these quests. And what you also get to do or get to have is you get to work with me directly after you've finished your certification on building your business. So one of the things, like we said, is one of the questions that people have is, how do I build a business out of this? So what we're going to do is we're going to host a virtual live event for everybody that gets certified. And we are going to work with you directly during those 3-4 hours to show you how you can build a successful business around this practice. You also get an invite to the Mindvalley Super Coach Experience that's happening on the 1st and 2nd of July in Tallinn, Estonia. This is one of our events where it's only limited and only people that are invited there are individuals who are certified with us. So it's a very private, intimate event. Yes, Vishen.
Ajit, let me jump in. So firstly, I just saw a comment here, and I just want to address this because I'm paying attention to your comments. Firstly, don't say this is expensive. It may be expensive for you. This is actually one of the highest quality certifications relative to price. So you can say it's expensive for me, but if you make a comment, it's expensive, you are profoundly wrong. Secondly, I just want to address this one comment. Ella says this was advertised that we would learn something transformational. Ella, I get where you're coming from. That was yesterday. You might be confusing 2 different things. Yesterday, we did a 4-hour full-on experience with Paul McKenna. 10,000 people signed up for that. And it was a 4-hour experience. And we said, we were very clear, today it's all about people who like that or who love Paul and want to learn about certification. So you may be at the wrong event. And I apologize if you got the wrong idea, but we're doing exactly what we committed to because we're freaking Mindvalley and we have integrity. Okay. So Ajit, back to you. Actually, Ajit, let me talk about these last 2 things. Yes. So could you go back 1 slide? one of the things that makes us different is when we have a certification, we also train you how to get clients. That's Ajit's domain. And so you actually get this, you get business training as well. It's completely included. And then the next thing is something that I really wanted to do. So we've now trained 5,000 coaches. And when you're a coach, one of the things that's really important is to have allies, to have kinship, to have community, people who can help you grow. And so we put together an event for coaches. It's called Super Coach. It happens in Tallinn, Estonia. That's where I live. And it's going to be happening this coming July 2023. We're expecting between 700 to 1,000 people there. And your ticket is completely free. We cover all the cost. You have to cover room and travel, of course, but we cover all the cost and we give you a free ticket because if you're certified by Mindvalley, we want to meet you. We want to be able to party with you. And this is just a really great way to come together and make friends and be part of something big, be part to have a tribe that has your back. So you're going to get free tickets for this as well. And if you guys have been following Mindvalley seminars, you know how much fun and how spectacular they are. Ajit, back to you.
Thank you, Vishen. So that's all that you're getting. Let me quickly summarize this. So what you're really getting is you're getting a 16-week Mindvalley hypnotherapy certification program. You're getting weekly live classroom sessions. You're getting coaching labs where you actually get to practice your skills. You also get a certificate that says Mindvalley Certified Hypnotherapist. You get a certified hypnotherapist profile on the Mindvalley website. You get access to Find a Coach platform. You get access to Mindvalley's technology. You get an invite to the Mindvalley Super Coach experience. You get your Grow Your Business package, and you of course get the free ticket to live online business training event that you're going to be having with me. Now, if you total that all up, it would probably cost you $36,500. If you look at any certification in the hypnotherapy world that is by a really seasoned hypnotherapist, like a high quality one that is recognized globally, somebody like Paul McKenna, it'll cost you anywhere between $8,000 to $20,000. That's just the price of working with a high quality trainer like Paul. Now here you have Paul and Mindvalley, and you still get that entire quality of experience plus more, much more actually, for just $2,499. That's the total price that you will be investing in getting certified by Mindvalley and Paul McKenna. Now, what I want to give quickly a glance of is how you could make this investment back in yourself. Like one of the big things that happens through hypnotherapy is as you hypnotize yourself, as you learn these tools, your energy level goes up, your confidence level goes up, your ability to be more certain goes up. And all of those things create more impact in your daily life. If you're more confident, think about how your presentation at your work may look like. If you're a CEO or a founder, think about how much more confident and clear you would be going into your business. And what would that mean for the business? What would that mean for your team members? It is significant what returns you can get based on the small investment that you would be making. The second way of actually getting results for yourself is you could become a hypnotherapist. Again, now the rules change country to country. We'll talk about that in a second, but you could be practicing hypnotherapy, and an average hypnotherapist would make anywhere between $70,000 to $100,000 in their annual income. Now you can layer these techniques that you learn as a hypnotherapist in this program and on top of your coaching business, off top of your training business to help your clients further. And that would just mean that you will increase the amount of money that you're making because you have this new skill that now you can deploy on your clients. Now, there are two ways. All you have to do is you simply make a deposit right now. My team has posted the link several times already. They'll be posting the link again. All you have to do is make a deposit of $200 and you'll get a quick application form. It'll take you about 4 to 5 minutes to fill that application form. It's just a quick filter for us to know that you have the right intentions to join the program. And once you get an approval, you have one of two ways to make a payment. One is you do a single payment of the balance, which is $2,299. Or you can take a 7-month payment plan. If cash is tight right now, you can simply take this payment plan. It's only $400 or $399 for 7 months. Those are two very simple payment plans that you can use post your application is approved. Now you can go simply to this link, go.mindvalley.com/hypno, and you can secure your spot. You can also use the QR code. What we're going to do now is I'm going to bring back Vishen for closing thoughts and Paul for closing thoughts, and then we're going to take on some questions.
There's a bunch of questions I've noticed that people are asking. One of them is this accredited? Well, we are in the process of getting it accredited by one of the recognized bodies, and so it will be accredited. But also on top of it being accredited, you have the Mindvalley brand, and I will personally sign your certificate. So that gives a tremendous amount of credibility to you as a therapist. The other question that's come up a lot is this different to RTT, rapid transformational therapy? Yes, is the answer. Marissa's helping a lot of people with RTT, but this is an entirely different approach to therapy, not just ideologically, but in terms of the actual technology, the techniques, and also the way I teach it as well. And it's, I think, about a third the price as well. Well, it is at the moment, as Vishen mentioned, as we've introduced this, it's at this extraordinary price. I mean, I personally, when we sat down a year ago and thought about getting this thing together, these days for me, my life is very much, and Vishen and Arjit, is about impact. And so we wanted to make this affordable to a lot of people. And this is an extraordinary price. Just look around and see what everyone else is charging. And, people say, how long did it take you to develop this course? I say it's 35 years. I mean, this is the R&D that's gone into this, because the techniques you'll be learning are the state of the art. A lot of the old hypnotherapy trainings are from the 50s and 60s. The techniques they use are really old-fashioned. They work. They're not right at the cutting edge. They don't work as fast. They don't work as effectively. And also, many of the people doing them, I mean, to be kind, are a bit hokey. What you've got here is the whole Mindvalley infrastructure. So you've got not just the actual material and the techniques that we've designed, and the way I teach it at an accelerated rate. So that you learn fast, you integrate it into your everyday communication, the way you think, the way the way you approach human beings, entirely different once you've been able to you literally install new perceptual filters in your mind that give you amazing advantages in life, not just as a hypnotherapist, but generally in communication. So whether you're in sales or teaching or anything. And if you are a coach or say a teacher, this is the perfect adjunct. So by the way, if you do RTT, this is the perfect adjunct. If that's worked for you, add this in. It's going to be phenomenal. Yeah. And particularly with coaching. With coaching, for example, the idea is you elicit from the person their resources, their insights to help move them on. With therapy, you tend to do it more to them. But the beautiful thing is, if you're a coach, this is the set of tools that you want. You want to be able to do hypnotherapy, to do NLP, and to do a psychosensory havening techniques, which suddenly means you're going to be so much more capable. You'll be able to deal with so many more problems. You'll get a reputation as a one-stop therapist or coach, and that will send your business into orbit. I mean, I personally, just to finish with, the moment, every hypnotherapist I know has never been busier, and that's as a result of the way the world is.
And I was going to say, not just if you're a coach, if you're a CEO, if you're a manager, if you're a mom or a dad, this is really useful stuff. Before I leave, guys, I'm going to leave you with Paul and Arjit. As I mentioned, it's my daughter's birthday, and so I'm going to head out for dinner with my 9-year-old. But I want to read out a couple of comments I saw just posted. Lisa Poffenroth, thank you, Lisa. Lisa said, I did the CBC course. That's one of Mindvalley's other certifications last year with Mindvalley. And all I can say is that the offering was robust. Professional coaches were supported in every live session, and the course was worth every penny. I've no doubt this course will provide the same quality of learning, whether you use it for personal or professional use. Greater education knowledge is never a waste. Perspective is your prerogative. And then I see Suchitra just put this in the comments, and thank you, Suchitra. Every initiative by Mindvalley is transformational. Speaking from firsthand experience, the number of initiatives one can participate in is directly proportional to the degree of up-leveling one is able to render on oneself. Once transformed, it is not possible to descend to an older limiting beliefs from someone who has gotten Mindvalley certified. So thank you, guys. These are comments from people who have actually taken our certifications. There's one thing that concerns me, guys. I'm concerned that some of you may think that this is inferior in quality, or it's not as detailed as some of the other certifications out there that are between $9,000 and $12,000. So let me address that, right? Because I know there's some of you who are going, oh, $2,500 is too expensive for me. And I get it. We're all at different levels, and maybe it's expensive now. As your career grows, maybe it won't be. And there's some of you who are thinking, well, I want the best because my time is valuable. Why don't I get one of those $10,000 programs? Well, this is a $10,000+ program. The reason we bring the price down is because Mindvalley, unlike many other programs out there, has economies of scale. We want to get these programs out to as many people as possible. But because we are the biggest personal growth company in the world right now, the biggest, we can bring prices down. Example, Lifebook which is one of our popular programs, used to be $5,000 when I took it in 2009. Today, it's $500. That is a 90% price reduction. And again, we do that because we blew it up. We put 70,000 people through Lifebook. So I don't want you to think that the price here means that it's not as good as a $10,000 program. It is better because Mindvalley can provide so much more, from the technology to the community to the training on marketing, because we are so massive. But we bring the price down because we want to build the #1 coaching certification company in the world. And we also recognize that this is year one and things get better every year. And we want to give you guys a massive, massive, massive discount because you're trusting us and we truly value you for that. Okay. Ajit, back to you.
Thank you, Vishen. And thank you, everybody who's been leaving amazing comments and sharing when they have signed up. We'll constantly be posting the link. And I know some of you are looking for links. Don't worry about it. We're going to be sending an email shortly. So you will be able to also see that link right there. So don't worry about it. One of the things that I missed to share is, when does this program start? This program starts on 14th of November. And you can enroll until 12th of November. So you have about 2 weeks to really decide and join the program and so forth. We have about 340 or 360 applications as of now that have come in. So we are just reviewing and getting to you as quickly as we possibly can. So once you apply and you are waiting, give us 24 to 48 hours. It's just a lot of excitement. Like you can see in the chat, it's a lot of excitement around this program. And so it takes a hot minute for us to get to every single application. We just want to make sure.
I gotta go. Family time.
Bye, Vishen. Have fun.
Okay, bye guys. Take care.
Bye. All right. So that's really where we are sitting with the entire setup, right? So if you missed the starting date, it's 14th of November is when it starts. 12th November is until when the enrollment happens. You simply have to decide, like within now and the next 1 to 2 weeks, to be able to really get into the program, apply for it so you can get your application approved, and then you can buy the program with one of the 2 options. All right, I'm going to be looking at Q&A now, and team, if there's something, because I'll be looking at them now as I was focused on responding to things, let me know. It seems like a lot of Q&As were answered within the question itself. So please check your messages that you sent in as a question. I know one of the common questions that had come in, Paul, and this would help people a little bit is, again, people go for really specific things. They go, does it help with ADHD? Does it help with, this particular thing or that particular thing? And I think you would be great to respond to that as to what all hypnotherapy can help with.
Okay, yeah, it's a great question. So basically, the things that people go and see hypnotherapists for, and it's renowned for helping with, is weight loss. It's incredibly good for weight loss. Even one of the things I find also is, even when hypnotherapy is done badly, it often still works. But when it's done very well, and my intention is to make you a fantastic hypnotherapist, it works for most people most of the time. And that's better than a lot of things, I can tell you. Because diets, for example, less than 10%. So weight loss, quitting smoking, things like anything to do with confidence and fear. So improving confidence, public speaking, overcoming phobias. Most phobias now are about 60 minutes to cure them. It's amazing. So if it's dogs, dentists, airplanes, whatever, it's usually a 60-minute job. Sometimes it takes longer, or you need to reinforce it. Also things like habits like nail biting, or blushing, or insomnia, things like that. They can also be helped dramatically through hypnosis. And one of the other things as well is that I should say that it's not just remedial things. It's people who want to be even better. So I've worked with fairly impressive group of over the years of sports stars, rock stars, movie stars, business leaders, etc. And these people are already very good at what they want to do, but they want to be even better. And so, every major sports star now has somebody, like it has a hypnotherapist or success coach to help them to get into the zone, to do all sorts of really cool things, so that they're performing at their best. Now, when it comes to, there are certain things that we're not teaching on this particular course, which is to do with depression. We are teaching things like trauma, but lifting mood, elevating it. But if it's clinical depression, eating disorders, and people with suicidal thoughts, that sort of thing. So those are not for this course, but pretty much everything else that people go and see a hypnotherapist for, which is to change a habit, change your lifestyle, or to improve something they already do, we are covering it. Because unlike a lot of the courses that give you a script and they go, just learn these scripts. Problem is, not everyone fits the script. So the way I teach is I teach you to, I mean, there is a script. There's one of my inductions in the manual. The manual's got everything in it. I mean, it's got absolutely everything packed into it, every technique, everything you want to know. And it's nicely laid out so you can easily go, oh, it's step 1, step 2, step 3. So what happens is, rather than give you a script, we train you to look at a human being, to calibrate to them, and then use simple instructions. Sometimes it's done conversationally, sometimes it's very direct. But because you are looking at the human being, you can see what's going on with them, because again, this is something we direct your attention to. And you can then create there and then with each person, rather than just going, your eyes are feeling sleepy, you are feeling heavy, that sort of stuff might work on a small proportion of people. There's a lot of people go, well, I don't feel that way. So what you do is you connect to them and you guide them using all of your communication skills, which will be sharpened, sharpened, sharpened. Because this is about watching a demonstration and then going duplicating it and doing it again and again and again until it becomes second nature to you.
Amazing. Thank you, Paul. One of the questions that I'm seeing repeating is people doubting themselves, right? So one of the things they're going is, Paul's voice is so soothing, mine is not. Or, oh, I am in a different language. I don't know if I can do this in a different language. Paul's British, he speaks English. Can you address that?
I can, actually. So yes, I've developed a hypnotic voice, and indeed part of the training is to get you to speak in a way, because generally hypnosis, it isn't always done in a relaxing way. Sometimes you hold someone's attention and you want to crank them up. It's a different sort of thing, but generally hypnotherapy is done in a relaxing tone of voice, a bit like a bedtime story. Now, some people say, well, what if English is not my first language? That's fine. There's a lot of people train with me. In fact, over the last 30 years, people have been coming from all over the world, training with me, and they go back and they do their hypnotherapy in Chinese or in Arabic or, in Italian. In fact, one of the things I find with Italian hypnotists, they all speak so beautifully like this, They've all got that fantastic accent, and the French accent is very nice as well. So it doesn't have to be your first language. Also, another question I saw pop up is, what if I don't have any experience? No problem. This training is designed for people who have no experience at all and can go from 0 to 100. Also, if you do have some experience, you'll find that we put so much into this that even if you have trained before, there'll be things in here you don't know, and also approaches that are really quite revolutionary to you. So if you have no experience or some experience, that is absolutely fine. You will get on fine with this training. It's been designed that way.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Paul. Some of the questions that have come in is around timings of the session. So timings of the session is the class starts November 14th, and every Wednesday, for what I recall, around 7 a.m. PST is when the live Q&A call with Paul or Steve happens. That Paul's going to do most of the calls. Some of the calls Steve's going to do. Steve is one of the Paul's buddy and persons that has trained alongside Paul for several years, has a lot of experience, and Paul personally recommends him to do some live Q&As. So you'll be experiencing that with either Paul or Steve. And 3 pods that happen where you get to practice peer coaching or peer training labs. That happens across different time zones. I don't have access to the time zones for each of them, but there are 3 different opportunities. So you can pick one of 3, whichever one that works for you. That happens again in guidance of Steve being present there while you practice. So he can help you with anything that may be blocking you or not being able to figure out something, be able to answer some questions around that. And you'll also have some more other specialized hypnotherapists that will be in there to support your learning experience. So that is that. Let me see if there's a question that I think we've kind of answered, but again, some are, I think, RTT hypnotherapists here, and they're like, does this work with Paul's training? Does it jive together? If you could respond to that.
Totally jives together, in fact, but it's different, right? So 1 or 2 people who attended the event were RTT therapists, and they said, hang on, wait 1 second, you're asking me to do this differently. Absolutely. And then suddenly they went, oh my God, I can put both skill sets together. Now I'm even more powerful as a therapist. So if you've enjoyed RTT, you will love this, but it is different.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Paul. So final question that I see here that is not a repeat in one way or another is a question around, I find it hard to visualize. Can I still use hypnotherapy?
Absolutely. Now, this is a very common question. People say, well, I don't think I'm really good at visualizing. And I say, think of your front door. What color is it? And is the handle on the left or the right? Does the door go in or does it pull towards you? And everyone can answer that question, because some people think that visualizing means they have to see things as real as they see reality. Now, there are some people who can do that, like designers. They can walk into a room and go, oh, I'll have the carpet beige, I'll have some curtains there and a sofa, etc. Because their job is to hallucinate in a way that's pretty real. But not everyone has to do that in their life. So it doesn't matter if you can't visualize that well or think you can't visualize that well, because remember, the suggestions are all still going into the subconscious or the unconscious mind. So very often, and Vishan mentioned this, he did that process with the chocolate and he thought, well, I don't know if anything's really changed. Boom, suddenly a month later, he goes, I'm eating 80% less chocolate. So very often that's, I find that with people, I do something with them and they go, well, I don't know if it really works. And, I hear from them a week later and they go, I haven't even thought about cigarettes. I don't know what happened. I've got no desire. It's completely gone. And so it's not uncommon, because remember, you've literally shifted your mindset to suddenly not even think about it. The other thing as well, this is good for, is anyone who's in sort of uncomfortable emotional state, be it grief, with love pain, be it anxiety, excessive fear and stress, anger, rage disorders, things like that. People, because basically all our emotions are signals. Fear says, be prepared. Anger is usually when a standard's been violated. Hey, you don't talk to me like that. Those sorts of things. Now, they're useful and very essential, really, as part of our intelligence, but you just don't want to live in them. And unfortunately, over the last couple of years, people have been living in a lot of stress and anxiety and fear. And that is what I've been helping people with a great deal. And hypnotherapy, I would say, is the number one way to treat anxiety, to treat stress, to treat panic attacks, to treat fear, to treat any of those sort of traumatic events as well. And we cover that in the course.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who has stayed, asked beautiful questions. We've tried our best to respond to each one of them through the course of this conversation. Super excited to see all of the individuals that have already decided to join us. They've already made the deposit. Thank you very much. We are looking at hundreds and thousands of people taking this and making this their daily life and be able to change their lives with that. Thank you very much for joining in. For any further questions, please send support@mindvalley.com. And also just make a deposit. You will see the page with all the details, which may answer most of your questions. So go ahead, just make this risk-free deposit, because if it's not for you after that, you can always ask for a refund. So it's absolutely okay. You're safe with Mindvalley always, like always. All right. Looking forward to working with a lot of you over the next several months. Thank you. Have a fantastic rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajit. God bless.